Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Mr. Sensible. Tonight is another channel takeover night. And... Red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert. It's JutMonkTheDrunk Monkey. As you may have gathered, it needed a warning. JutMonk's language can be a little ripe, nay, very ripe from time to time. So if that's something that you don't appreciate, or perhaps if you're someone who could be easily offended, might be best to move on and look at something else this time. However, I'll be very glad if you gave him a try and see what you actually think, because Mrs. Sensible, who doesn't swear, thinks he's hilarious. So, JutMonk, you stepped into the breach a second time to provide content. I do appreciate it. I think it's best if we just roll VT.
Oi oi people, I made it, Mr. Sensible. Sorry I'm a bit late, but I was struggling to land this bleeding thing. I had to keep dipping my nose on the way here. No, not in case I crashed into any bleeding dome either, or flew into space. A plane wouldn't even fly into space anyway. It needs air, for any dumbass that thinks it would. No, it's just obviously when you come into land, you have to dip the nose a bit in order to come into land. Well, in this bleeding plane, you do anyway. I did a nose dive actually and pulled up at the last minute and just about landed. So here I am to help you, Mr. Sensible, fill up the month of January. Now, obviously, you can't handle your sauce over the Christmas period. So here we are, me amongst a few other creators to help fill up your channel on January while you get over a hangover. Let me give you a little word of advice, Mr. S, my good friend. If you can't handle the sauce, then hand all your sauce to me, JutMonkTheDrunk Monkey. And you know what I do, and if you don't, I find ridiculously dumb people that are so stupid they think things like the moon is a hologram, the sun has its own apparition for everyone, or the earth is bleeding flat. Well, let me tell you something, people. The earth isn't flat, never has been flat, and never bleeding will be flat. So I am going to show you some of the biggest idiots that are on the internet right now, spouting the biggest bunch of idiocy known to man. Let's start off with Hans Wormhat. I take it he's called Wormhat because his brain has got the same amount of power as a bleeding worm.
Today I'm going to look at an old Americana encyclopedia edition that actually proves that we have a dome above us and we are living on a flat earth.
Jut, what are you talking about? Hans Wormhat? I think it might be you who can't handle your sauce. That's not Hans Wormhat. That's Barnabus Nagy. Anyway, I was just about to nip off. I'll leave you to it.
That's better. Pint, please, barman. What did you just say, Hans? You've got proof that there's a dome and a flat earth. Let me hear that again, please, pal.
It actually proves that we have a dome above us and we are living on a flat earth.
Oh my word. What an absolute dork. Don't be bloody stupid, Hans. An encyclopedia isn't proof of anything, period. I mean, what's wrong with the Encyclopedia Americana 2020? I know, perhaps it isn't out yet. What, 2019? Or, 2018? 2017? Why 1958? Is it because the dome they're talking about isn't there anymore? I mean, we're not talking about the stupid upside-down glass goldfish bowl that covers our stupid pizza-shaped earth that you bang on about. No, they're talking about ice domes. Ice domes which happen in this climate, in these sort of terrains, in mountains. Simple as that. We're not talking about a bleeding upside-down glass goldfish bowl, you stupid dork.
So let's investigate.
And this is coming from a man who couldn't investigate his own stool after taking a dump.
I got a lead from Jason, my friend, to look into the Encyclopedia Americana, and this is on the channel Donna McManus, 1958 Encyclopedia Americana Antarctica Dome, full entry.
Antarctica dome entry. That's the biggest pile of shart I've ever heard. And if you don't know what a shart is when you fart and follow through and make the seats of your panties all wet. Shart!
So let's have a look into this.
Sure, let's get into this. Bang up to date book, as long as you're 52 years of age. For goodness sake, man, why is it you lot just seem to hark back to books from God knows when to try and find evidence for something that doesn't exist? You're a bunch of delusional spanner monkeys and you need to get a grip on reality. The fact that you can't work out reality baffles me. It's not bleeding hard to just watch a boat go over the curve and think, that boat's gone over the curvature of the earth. Or watch the sun cut in half by, the ground you're standing on and then disappear below your feet and then, pop up the other side the next day.
So basically, this is an older 1958 version of the Encyclopedia Americana. As you can see, this is kind of like an official book, right? Volume 2.
Oh, why don't you hold your frigging noise, you stupid, dried up mucus bubble? I mean, I envy every single human being on this planet that hasn't watched one of your videos yet, because they are trash, rubbish, full of nonsense. I mean, where in the name of all that is sacred to this monkey, a pint of ale and a Jack Daniels and Coke, does a book from 62 years, might I add, not 52 years. I was wrong because these idiots wind me up so much I can't even work stuff out. 62-year-old book. Why don't you at least get the book from last year, 2019? Because do you know what? It's the year 2020. But of course you won't. You won't do that, will you? Because the only bit of cherry picking you can do from any encyclopedia is from a book that is 62 years old. Well, do you know what I'd like to do? Find the rest of those bleeding cherries and, as I said before, ram them down your bleeding throat, up your nose or wherever else.
And as you can see, this is a real book.
Yes, a real book. So you keep saying it's a real book, but how do I know it's not CGI? I mean, I haven't touched your so-called book. I mean, I call fake, not a real book, CGI. I mean, if you can call fake on every single photograph taken of our planet by all them satellites, and not just all them satellites, but even astronauts themselves with an actual camera on an actual film have taken an actual picture of our globe, and you call CGI before CGI even, was a thing. God, you lot are dumb. What is wrong with you? Globe-denying, backward-thinking, reality-rejecting bunch of idiots. Do you know what? You lot drive me insane. I cannot grasp why you can't see basic reality. I mean, just making a few observations of our planet is very, very simple to work out, the shape of the thing you're standing on. I mean, let's face it, you're standing on the bleeding thing! What's wrong with you?
And the first thing I noticed here on this map is that there is no New Zealand.
Really? There's no New Zealand. So a book that you are going to use as proof, you say, of the dome and flat earth is not only 62 years old, but it doesn't even get a simple map correct. Is that what you're saying? You are completely clueless. You're a clueless cretin. I don't get it. What is wrong with you, bunch of imbecilic, brainless, stupid, bloody planks? Where did you get your brain? No, don't tell me. It was a rodent, wasn't it? Roadkill. A rodent that was roadkill last week. You've gone out into the street, seen a fucking dead rat that's been there for God knows how long, and you have taken a fork and dug its brain out, and then stuck it up your own jacksie to see if it works. Well, do you know what? It doesn't work, does it?
So that was weird. I'm not sure why that is, but
I've just told you why. You've lost the plot. You're an absolute idiot. You've completely lost it, mate. You just mentioned the words flat earth for one. I mean, come on. Anyone who even thinks that we live on a flat earth, let alone wants to put them two words together, which, I'm sorry, I don't even like saying flat earth, because there isn't a flat earth, young man. I tell you what, there is no flat earth, never has been a flat earth. It's a bloody globe. We live on a spherical planet. It's not hard to work that shit out either. And if you can't grasp that for that basic reality, then I'm sorry, you've lost it. And no wonder you can't work stuff out. Put your hat on, turn it around backwards, and stick your own head up your jacksie. Because you ain't gonna find anything that makes any sense to you, because you're an absolute dork. You're an idiot. You're a plum. You're an absolute spanner monkey. An absolute wank spanner. You have lost the plot completely and utterly if you think we live on a flat earth. Now, I don't understand why you've come to this conclusion. All I can think is you're an absolute plum, an idiot, a twat.
Tell me what you think in the comments below, by the way.
No. Stop this absolute idiocy. Do you know what? The fact that your name is Hans Wormhat says it all. You have had to borrow a hat off a fucking worm in order to cover your micro brain. You are an absolute idiot, and I do not want to go anywhere near anything else you've got to say. You're a moron. You've lost the plot, and if you still think we live on a flat earth, you're an absolute plum. Complete and utter anus wipe.
Imagine if you loved your children and firmly believed that you knew the best way to raise them and take care of them.
Oh, for goodness sake, brain dead dumbassery. Parents don't need to imagine that they love their children. It comes naturally, unconditional, and any decent parent would only want to raise them in the best way that they know how. Parents should always, if responsible, have their children's very best interests at heart. So, for that reason, I wouldn't want any of my children watching the warped, deluded, weird, and sometimes vile crap that you dump onto the internet.
And because of that, your entire family, your kids, all 10 of them in this case, were literally kidnapped by cops.
No. Police do not kidnap children. Period. It doesn't happen, pal. You know, if children are taken away from a family home, it's because there's a bloody good reason why. Because that parent is irresponsible, or worse still, harming that child. Or letting them watch idiot videos like yours.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and let you guys know, I heard about a recent incident where 10 children were kidnapped by your office.
Oh, please, don't tell me you're going to make this dumbass phone call to a police station and come out with this rubbish. I mean, you're wasting police time. Of course they didn't kidnap them children. You are just a paranoid, deluded weirdo that will look into anything and try and find something that you can just go against the grain with. But you're a conspiracy theorist. You're one of the worst. You're an absolute idiot.
And I just want to let...
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep hearing in the news, and it's very disgusting, and it's an offensive crime.
Oh, sewage brain philosophy. Of course the kidnap of 10 children would be a heinous, terrible crime. But that's not how it went down, is it? And you know damn well that 10 children wasn't kidnapped by the police. And while you're continuing to waste police time, some poor girl who's just on the desk, who may not even be a police officer, just a member of the police staff, and she's taking the absolute abusive rubbish that you're going to send her down the phone. Why don't you get a grip and sort your life out? Because let's face it, your life needs sorting out. You're a flat earther, or as I like to call it, a globe-denying, backward-thinking arse dribble. Anus dribble, monkey spunk dribble, whatever you like. You are as stupid as they come if you want to even comprehend another shape of our planet than the actual shape that it is. A spherical planet, you dumbass.
We don't go in and take kids without orders.
Did you hear that, arse-wipe dipshittery? Of course you did. They don't just go and kidnap children. The police don't take children unless they're decent grounds, good enough grounds that them children might be at risk one way or another, therefore they can take them from you. Otherwise, they don't just kidnap children. You're an absolutely warped weirdo if you think otherwise.
Okay.
So there was a reason, or yes, there's more behind the story.
There's more behind the story? Okay. I hope there is, because this is not the first time that the feds or or government officials in general have gone around and seizing parents' children under so-called, oh, they had drugs or their lifestyle was different.
I'm sorry, you dippy, cretinous imbecile. Not the first time kids were taken because of what?
Have gone around and seizing parents' children under so-called, oh, they had drugs or their lifestyle was different.
Really? So you actually have a problem with children being removed from a household where there are drugs involved?
Are you for real? You have actually got a problem with children being removed by the authorities because there may be drugs involved? Kids don't get kidnapped by the police. I'm not saying it's never happened due to some weird situation where there's corruption, but the police or other authorities don't just turn up and take your kids for no reason whatsoever. They don't do that. I'm sorry, Mr. Sensible, I can't do it. I cannot bite my tongue anymore. It's people like this dead brain cell philosophy, or whatever he's called, is the reason that the gene pool should have a bloody lifeguard. I mean, listen up, you brainless imbecile. If you continue to spout your utterly ridiculous toilet, then the only chance you've got of getting laid is if you crawl your sorry ass up a chicken's backside and wait. It's clear that this conspiratard's stupid ignorance has clearly got in the way of any education or common sense he may have. What an idiot. I mean, come on. His anus hole must be so bloody jealous of the amount of shite that comes out of his mouth. Mr. S, sorry pal, thanks for having me on, but I need to really tear a strip off this geezer, and I can't do it on your channel because I'll end up demonetizing it for you. And you know, I think a lot of you, pal, and I wouldn't want to do that for you. So, out of respect, I have tried to hold my tongue, and I have let slip the odd expletive, and I'm sorry for that, people. But if you would like to pop across to my channel, JutMonkTheDrunk Monkey, I'm sure Mr. S will put a link in the description. Come across to my channel, watch me finish this geezer off, and I've got one more to do. And hopefully you'll like what I do, which is absolutely tear the arse out of these utter, ridiculously stupid, bottom-feeding maggots of the intellectual ladder. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. See you on my channel hopefully one day. Or if not, well, you know.
Well, thank you very, very much for the content, Jut. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you all soon. In the meantime, quick thanks to my amazing patrons. As always, massive thanks to all my patrons, including new patrons Corpus Defectus, Tiffany Hall, Erebathron, Bardtail, Francis Chimenti, William Foley, Alice Vangstrom, John Roswell and TechBlog, and my very latest patron, Pyro Kitty Cat. Thank you all so very much.
Shut up and sit down.